I believe we're all set when you are.
Okay. I would like to call the planning board meeting of July 3rd, 2020 to order. First order of business would be to do I believe, a roll call. When I say your name, if you could say if you're present or not, well, you could say you're present. I would appreciate it. David Christensen?
Present.
Dwayne Prescott?
Present.
Deborah Barrows? Present. Kayla Gunnard? Present. And I'm Lori Anthony, and I'm here also. A quorum has been met with the members presented, so I call this meeting to order. And we will do for item 2, which are minutes, which we are not. Do you know what those ones are, as I understand it? Okay. So our next order of business will be new business and public hearings. We have no new business, so we will be going to public hearings. Who was going to be first? There's a change.
So all of our the members participating this evening came to participate with regards to Carmine LLC. I think Bill would be the one to go first to allow more time for public comment and Doug to answer any questions.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but we do both public hearings first and then we'll move on to the planning board review.
That's correct. You have both public hearings and then go on to have discussion about each application. So I think that as Angela has suggested, at least if there's no public hearing or nobody to speak for or against Store Ridge, formerly Carpenter Ridge, that will go quick. And then we can listen to the public hearing information on the Foglio subdivision, and then you can take Store Ridge first during old business, and take whatever action you're going to take, and then you can have further debate on the conversation regarding the Foglio subdivision.
Thank you, BJ. David, you need to unmute yourself and then speak. I'm sorry, David, you're still muted. We can't hear you.
Okay. My suggestion is that, or my comment is that I think we have to open the public hearings and declare them closed and then reopen the planning board meeting.
That would be correct.
That has what I've written down, and that's how we will proceed. Thank you, David.
Okay.
That being said, if there's no objections from the rest of the planning board, I would like to open the public hearing for the Store Ridge subdivision. Correct? Who's speaking for Store Ridge?
Am I unmuted?
You are unmuted.
Okay. I'm Bill Thompson with VIII Storm Engineers, here for the applicant Van Hertel Jr. For the public hearing. We're here obviously to answer any questions. Just give a quick summary if you want, Madam Chair. These are 3 lots out of a 5-lot division that was, the lots were divided in 2004. These 3 lots, and the lots were family conveyance. Now, to make them eligible for sale inside that 5-year window that subdivision law requires, we've put these lots through the subdivision checklist and design with soils and access easements and all the requirements that a subdivision for approval would require. So Again, they have 150 feet of frontage. They all meet the minimum 80,000 square foot. They're fairly level in the front, good sight distance. DOT has weighed in, granted a shared easement. The fire department has weighed in as requested and have approved the entrance design. So I don't believe there are any outstanding issues, but again, I'm here now and then during the old business to answer any questions that might come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Is there anyone in the audience that will be commenting tonight on this subdivision? Oh, hearing no, so if there's no one here, there will be no comments. If no one's going to comment from the public hearing on this subdivision, if there is no objections, I would like to close the public hearing for the Store Ridge subdivisions. Any objections from the members of the planning board? Hearing none, the public hearing for the Store Ridge subdivision is now closed. We have a second subdivision. If there is no objection with the rest of the planning board, I would like to open the subdivision, the public hearing for the subdivision, Carmine 3-lot subdivision. Hearing no objections, I now declare the public hearing for the Carmine 3-lot subdivision open. Who is representing this subdivision? Could they speak, please?
Me.
Douglas Foglio, would you like to give a brief summary of the 3-lot subdivision you're proposing?
Sure. So it's 3 2-acre lots just north of a camp road that was built a couple of years ago. The soils tests have been done. When we get into the a little later on, I have some plot plans and well locations and the like. But all the frontage access will be off a townhouse road. DOT entrances will be obtained at the time of construction. And not much more to say than that, I guess.
By a show of hands, could I see how many people are here to speak on this subdivision? I have one, it's Anthony. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? David, Melinda is still muted and I can't see her picture, so I can't see a show of hands. Can you open a mic so I can get a response from her?
I'm not making a comment.
You're not. Thank you, Melinda.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess the only one that's going to speak is Anthony. Anthony, if you'd like to, David, if you'd like to unmute Anthony so we could hear his comments on the subdivision, please.
Not yet. Okay.
Go ahead, Anthony. Thank you.
Lori, thank you. I just have a few questions, and I want to first start by thanking Angela for being so responsive by multiple calls and emails. My name is Anthony Hollingshead, and I really have more questions than comments. I actually live on Lone Pond. I'm at 37 Water Lily Lane, and my parents built a house at 55 Water Lily Lane in 1969. So I just had a couple of questions as far in here and get a sense of where the houses are going and so forth, and how they'll impact the pond. So I understand from what I gathered, these are 3 house lots that are off of Townhouse Road, probably somewhere adjacent to that camp road, leading to lot 64. And is that sort of that woodland area across the lake from Water Lily Lane? Is that correct?
Yes. That is correct. Yep.
So, Doug, are all three parcels being sort of divided up so they all have waterfront access?
No. There's no waterfront access on any lot.
That's great news. So one of the things that again, I've been up there for many, many years, and I've seen a lot of development, and that's all about life. But there's a lot of traffic on Townhouse Road, and over the years, people are traveling at a pretty good clip. And with all of the development and so forth, with the removal of trees and so forth, the sound has been increased a lot. Traffic sound has been increased a lot to the lake. Can you tell me just how many trees, how much understory is being removed for the development, and how far back off the road, approximately?
Well, if things go as we've laid them out, the house will sit similar to the new house that was just constructed up the street on Townhouse Road, about 85 feet back from the road. And the way the topography works, the houses will not be back, and the way the lots are laid out, the houses won't be back any more than probably 100 feet. And typically, you can figure about 1/4 of an acre of clearing. That takes into account the water line, the septic system, driveway, house, and that's pretty typical. We don't intend to clear any more than necessary, but when homeowners move in there, they can do anything legal. We stopped the boundary short of Lone Pond, and the reason being is because of, there's 2 reasons really. We wanted to keep it out of the conservation district, and we also didn't want to have to deal with FEMA. So those 2 issues drove the rear line of each property. So, and I'm looking at this. So I'm looking at this briefly. I would say the property line is maybe 50 feet back from the water, and that's a guess without actually scaling it, I guess. But so at this point in time, there's no access to Lone Pond. They don't have any deeded access.
Thank you, Doug. That's been actually the beauty of that pond for many years. It's been very sort of forested.
Yeah.
It would be great to see it.
David, could you mute Jana, please?
It would be great to see it stay that way. So, Doug, the property that is the first lot adjacent to the camp road going to the Simpsons cottage, is that where this is?
Correct. So it goes from the Simpson Cottage Road northerly towards Hollis, 3 lots.
Okay. And so there's no intentions of doing anything between the Simpsons Cottage and your new houses. That's going to be kept pretty narrow as well?
At this time, yes.
So I think those are most of my questions. I appreciate your time. This is probably not a question you can answer at this point, but at one point I contacted the town hall to ask about that new road that it went into the Simpsons camp, because it looked pretty substantial. And I asked if there was a pending development. They indicated that at the time there was not. But I guess that's something we're really not here to speak about tonight. But is that the plan? Is this part of a larger development at some point?
I have no idea what the future will bring. So, potentially, yes, but it would go through this same process all over again if it was.
Right.
But currently, no.
Okay. Doug, I think you've answered all my questions. I appreciate it. I think you've done a nice job with the Woody Knoll development. It looks great. The lake, again, I've been going up since I was 10, and it's pretty much of a gem to my family, myself, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it as natural as we possibly can. That would be just greatly appreciated. So good luck on the project.
Thank you.
I have just a comment, Doug, if you could clarify, those lots, if I remember correctly, are short of the lake, 75 feet. So there's like a buffer between, of woods between the shoreline, natural, whatever it is, natural growth between the shoreline and where you're proposing to develop, correct?
Yeah, there's a parcel of land that's being retained by Carmine LLC. Because the shoreline varies there, the depth of that parcel also varies, but it's being retained at this time to the larger lot. So yeah, you're correct. And in some areas, Lori, yeah, it may be 75 feet. Some areas a little less than that, but yeah, you're correct.
Thank you very much, Doug. David, could you unmute Jana so we can see in regards why she signed on, if it's this subdivision or the one that we had just closed?
I was signed in because I got from the town hall a letter that 6:30 was supposed. I signed in because a subdivision on my property in Secaucus.
On Secaucus Trail?
Yes.
We've closed that public hearing. We're actually speaking on a different one.
Oh, when did you? So I'm late on that meeting, the time, because yes. I received the link at 6:30 for the 6:30 meeting. I received the letter 2 days ago saying that.
Yes. Angela, you sent those out. You can verify this. You sent the links out to the public. I believe.
Hearing. Yeah. Yes, that's the letter that said for me. That's the instruction on the letter.
Yes, and we started the public hearing for that one at 6:36 or something like that.
Yep, the link went out at 5:06
Okay.
p.m.
So okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jana. Okay, is there any other comments or questions regarding the Carmine subdivision? Carol, you're good? You have no questions, correct, Carol?
Did you hear you?
Hearing no further comments from the public. If there are no objections from the planning board, I'd like to declare this public hearing closed. Hearing none, I declare the public hearing for the Carmine subdivision closed. Thank you, Doug. So I suppose, David, I open the regular meeting now. Moving to the fourth order of business, which is old business. We have two subdivisions in front of us that require approval, and it is in hopes for both subdivisions that preliminary and Lee J, do you have a...
No, I'm just shaking my head.
Okay.
You're fine. Keep going. Keep going.
I thought I was doing something wrong.
No. You'll hear me if you're doing something wrong. Don't worry.
Okay. moving on to old business, we have two subdivisions. Both are trying to get approval for pre and final application. Is there any, should we take them in order as on the agenda, or should we do the Carmine lot first?
That's up to the board. It didn't seem like there was a couple of questions rather than any major issues being raised on Carmine LLC. So if that is listed first, if the board chooses to continue and have discussion on that, you can do that.
Does the board have a preference? Hearing none, we will go in the order listed on the agenda, which means that Storer Ridge subdivision will be up first. If everybody could get their materials for that, I'd appreciate it. Lee, do you have any suggestions on this one?
On Storer Ridge? I did not. The last, just kind of fill in some of the gaps. At the last planning board meeting, there was a concern with the name of the subdivision being Carpenter Ridge. The applicant has changed the plan and the name of the project to Storer Ridge, which I do not believe there's been any issue from Glenn at this point on that. He was the one who raised the Storer Ridge issue. And the other issue was pertaining to getting the sign off from the fire department. I'm not going to say fire chief because they do have an inspector who does that review and it's not the chief. And the fire inspector has signed off on review of the template that the equipment that the town of Waterboro owns can get in and out of that property adequately. So they have satisfied everything that was discussed previously, and I didn't have any additional conditions or anything that I felt needed to be added to that application.
Are there any members of the planning board that needs to, do I like to comment? Lane? Or let me ask you this, I'm sorry, David, on these on the smaller lots, do you, when you do both, or Lee J, do you do both, just go through the checklist? Is that the preferred method?
Well, I mean, in the checklist, do you mean the performance standards for the findings of fact, or do you mean the submission information? Because that would have been found complete already, and that's why you had scheduled the public hearing. You wouldn't hold the public hearing without the application being complete. So unless you're talking about going through each and every performance standard, which the board has not done in the past, there's no reason to. You could just move on to approval with, or debate and approval with any conditions or no conditions, if the board chose to go that way.
Okay. David?
Yeah, Lori, I was just going to echo the same thing, that we're at a stage where we can approve or not approve based on the information that we have at hand.
I agree. Dwayne, did you have a comment?
Yes, thank you. We are at the point where we can approve or not approve based on information, but as I look at this package I received, there's nothing we can't straighten out for this evening, but it is incomplete, but we can make this work. Also, I see the applicant has requested no waivers. When I look through the waiver request sheet, I see 8 that we need to deal with before this can move forward.
Is it warm in here? I feel like I'm having a fever.
You said that there.
We can move it forward, but the way this package is in front of my desk, you know, I'm not seeing stormwater management plan. you know, and the other things like the proof of certified mail, I'm sure Angela has, and she can put those in the package before, you know, there's a few things I can go over to Angela, make sure we have a nice complete package for the file.
Well,
I believe there's 8 that we should grant waivers on and put conditions.
well, there is.
So I am looking back at my latest memo. And excuse me, under the next steps, there were a couple of things to do, and I guess, Angela, I don't know if you have the previous meeting minutes in front of you. I do suggest that granting the requested waiver was needed. I don't know if that was done or not. It's been a while now. Find the application complete, hold the public hearing, which you have done, and then determine if there are any issues raised during the public hearing that the applicant needs to respond to, or any conditions that may be required, and determine if the board would like to grant final approval on the application for this meeting. So yes, there is waivers that would need to be granted, and I think the application did ask for several waivers in there. I just can't recall myself whether or not those were actually acted on or not.
I know we have not acted on any waivers.
No, there's been no waivers acted on.
Okay, so then what you need to do is, it says as part of the preliminary checklist, the applicant is seeking one waiver, the waiver to not require centrally located mailbox clusters, number 23 of the checklist. That is a waiver that's being requested. Yes.
That's Carmine, right?
Oh, is that Carmine?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I have the wrong application memo up.
That's Carmine.
Hold on, Store Ridge, I got it right here.
Yeah,
trying to jump.
has no waiver.
Yes, so my memo says under completeness, based on the submitted information and previous discussion regarding the need for additional information, the application could be found complete. If the board finds the application complete, public hearing notification has been sent and the advertisement placed so the board can hold the public hearing, depending on the issue that comes. So you do need to act on completeness. It sounds like Dwayne has an issue. I didn't see any issue with this application not being complete, considering the fact that technically this subdivision has been in existence for quite a while. And all they're doing at this point is going through a perfunctory approval process to be able to sell the lots. But that's not my call, that's just my recommendation.
I agree, Lee J. This is a basic project. There's a couple houses going in by a couple houses, across the street from a couple houses. These are just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. There's nothing here this evening that'll stall this out. But it's important that we do this and we have it in the file that we did it. Because if we don't, we're going to set a precedent coming down the road for anybody to come to this town and say, hey, you didn't do it for that project.
I don't disagree. I think that's an appropriate comment. Absolutely.
I'm looking at the final plan requirements, section 7.1. And of course, this is 5 pages, but a lot of this stuff is already been provided by the applicant. A lot of it does not apply at all. So we're just going to get to the nuts and bolts. As we discussed before about the addresses, so we're going to I recommend that we grant the waiver that the numbers on the houses and the street names will be in place before the occupancy permit. That would be a condition. We're going to waiver it with a condition that that be in place.
Yeah, and you can do that. I think that part of Glenn's standard procedure would be to do that anyway.
Well, yes, we've done it right along, but it's all we've always had for new members. There's 5 pages of waiver requests that should be in every package. You will see it in the other package, and you need to go through this list. And this is a great resource to know if an application is complete and ready for preliminary, ready for final. It has everything you need to know in here.
Yeah, and so most of the submission requirements do come at preliminary. And then the final application checklist and whatnot is pretty much, well, you need to add X, Y, and Z. But most of the requirements do come at the preliminary level, yes.
And I did mention this sheet at a previous planning board meeting, that I thought it was curious that the applicant was not asking for any waivers at all. Because if you don't ask for any waivers at all, you have to comply with 5 pages of waivers, whether you apply to your lot or not. So if you allow, let's just we'll go through these 8 and we'll just do a bulk waive on them if the board agrees, and we'll move forward.
Dwayne, thank you. Bill, as far as the waivers, I thought, or Lee J, as far as the house numbers, aren't those done by Glenn for the building permit?
Yes, that's part of the E911 process. Glenn issues the address for every house during the building permit process.
Okay. Bill, let me ask Dwayne. Dwayne, you mentioned stormwater, and I know there's a whole section on the stormwater in that checklist. Bill, if you could clarify, if David, the reason that I see there is no reason for stormwater management is because these lots drain into an existing ditch along Route 5.
I agree, but it's still on the way.
I mean, on Townhouse.
Route 5.
Route 5.
Yeah, we're talking about stuff on Secocas Trail.
Yes.
Right.
Chair, it might be easiest to have Dwayne list all of the waivers that he's suggesting are needed. So then you'll have the full list in front of you.
I agree. Dwayne, if you could possibly, list your concerns. And if,
Sure. There's a couple of these things. The street names, as we already know. And then all of these things can go in as long as they're in place before Glenn issues the occupancy permit. Let's see. Okay, there's a drainage system, and I'm willing to waive that. I agree with Lori. This is a standard procedure, but we do have a process to go through, and we have a checklist. Okay, that's kind of a duplicate there. It talks about a performance bond that's supposed to be in place now.
Performance bonds are usually put in place when there's infrastructure going in, such as a road, not a driveway, but a road, or water is being extended in cases where water is available and that sort of thing. So in this case, again, you have 3 lots along the frontage of the road that they're a private driveway, basically. It's not a public way, and there's really nothing for them to bond at this point. They will be required to do a separate bond through Public Works for the placement of the culvert under the driveway, which is part of the street standard design criteria, not part of this process.
Well, wouldn't there be a bond on the basic structure, the concrete, the cellars and whatnot? That's where the bond really is, the underground construction, right? That's what bonds are for.
Not on cellars or anything. That's private. That's the only thing bonded is public infrastructure. Anything that's going to get turned over to the town, and it's bonded to make sure that it's constructed where the town wants it constructed, so that we don't have failures in the future.
Thank you, gentlemen. Bill, could you just verify that driveway is installed and the culvert is already in, correct?
That's correct. It's been in, certified by the fire chief or captain. Yep.
We'll change that to submitted by applicant, so it's already in place, so that takes care of that one.
Can I just talk on the stormwater requirement? Typically, without a new road, there's no stormwater report needed. All we're doing is selling 2 lots, each with a single-family house. The driveway's in place. There's really no impact of any stormwater. So unless there was the road being built, the applicant's not building the house. There'll be a driveway coming back onto the shared driveway. So a stormwater report really wouldn't show anything of any impact.
Okay. Well, I agree with that. I've seen the project, so. I guess everything's been covered. Most of the stuff is in place and didn't require. I guess you're right. So let's move forward.
Thank you, Dwayne. So our next step, as I understand it, is to find the application complete. Is that correctly, Jay?
Yes, to make sure that you do that, yes, absolutely.
There are no waivers to approve. I don't see any need for conditions of approval. The questions raised will be taken care at the building permit stage and occupancy stage, correctly, Jay?
That is correct.
Thank you. Can I make a motion to approve this application?
You cannot make the motion.
Ask for a motion.
Yes.
Yes, David, you have to unmute, please. Thank you.
I shall make a motion that the application be approved and as complete and final.
Do I hear a second? I have a second from Kayla. Could you state so, please, Kayla?
I second the motion.
Thank you. All right, what do I say now?
You would need a roll call vote on the action because you're on Zoom. It's
Okay,
not
thank
just a
you.
hand raise. There would be a
Thank
roll
you.
call vote.
Having a second, I need a yay or nay. Please state your name when I call you, and say yes or no, please. Dwayne Prescott, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Dwayne. David, unmute and state your.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, David. Deborah.
Yes.
Keela, yes or no for approval?
Yes.
I also vote yes on this. It's unanimous, and this application has been found complete, right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Now you need a second motion to approve the application or whatever the board chooses to do.
Unmute David. Unmute David.
And I would make the motion to approve the application.
May I hear a second, please?
And I'll second it.
Kayla, thank you. With that being said, the application has been approved. Oh, no, it can't be. We have to vote. Sorry, guys. Deborah, yes or no?
Yes.
Kayla, yes or no?
Yes.
David, yes or no?
Yes.
Dwayne?
Yes.
And I also vote yes to approve this subdivision.
There you go.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is everybody ready for the next one? Okay. Do I have to say that that one is done and we now open for the?
Yes. Just introduce that, you're moving on to the discussion of Carmine LLC.
Okay. With no objection. Let's begin the next subdivision under item 4. And Doug, if you could just give a brief description of your Carmine subdivision.
Sure. And what I'd like to do is kind of walk through the packet a little bit that that you all should have, the board members anyway. And for those that are still watching on, I'm going to read the letter that I presented to the board in the packet. It says, on behalf of Carmine LLC, I am pleased to submit the enclosed plan, application, and supporting material for both preliminary and final plan review of the Carmine subdivision. As previously discussed at the sketch plan meeting, This proposed subdivision encompasses a small portion of land owned by Carmine LLC on the easterly side of Townhouse Road. This applicant is requesting subdivision approval for a 3-lot subdivision of the overall lot containing 5.94 acres. The project is a portion of lot 45 as shown on the Town of Waterboro Tax Map 11 and is entirely located in the AR zone. 2 other parcels have been divided off this lot in the past 2 years. Woody Knoll subdivision was approved by the Planning Board November 14, 2018, and a single lot created in January of 2020. Those lots are shown on the subdivision plan of the Carmine subdivision. I've listed a few of the documents that we'll just kind of skip through here, and I'll name those out afterwards. A drill well will serve as both domestic water and fire protection. All lots will be served by on-site wastewater disposal systems, and given both the soil conditions and depth to groundwater, the disposal systems will have little impact on the environment. Each lot will require a DOT entrance permit for the driveway, location, and drainage requirements. Since the exact location of each driveway is not currently known, the permit will be obtained prior to the issuance of a building permit, which is a building permit requirement. So if we, from that point, I've attached several exhibits. The first one is A. It's just an agent authorization form. Some of this is a bit repetitive because I submitted it at the time of sketch plan. Exhibit B is the deed to Carmine LLC, which shows ownership. Exhibit C was the original subdivision application, which was sent at the time of sketch plan. Exhibit D is the preliminary and final plan checklist. Now, if we go back, I did ask for some waivers. One was a geologist report, which, given the soil conditions and the impact that's anticipated here, it's minimal. And also central mail delivery. Each lot will have a mailbox. There's really no provisions. There's no internal infrastructure, no roadway. So as all the other houses, typically on Townhouse Road, each will have its own mailbox. Now, in the for the preliminary and final plan checklist, I went through, checked everything that I felt was applicable, and indicated those that I didn't. And again, the waivers were checked off that I'm requesting. I did not, at the time of sketch plan, have soil test pit logs. They're now in on Exhibit E, and each lot has 2 test pits, 50 feet apart as per the requirement, and each shows that it's a loamy sand on top, gravelly sand to sand underneath, and that's very typical of that whole area. We found that in the Woody Knoll subdivision across the street, but it's very typical of the entire area. And all the test pits show similar soil conditions. Exhibit F is the subdivision plan, and you'll see that, and this is just kind of to refresh your memory on what we discussed during sketch plan. There's a 25-foot green belt kept along Townhouse Road for each lot. The only place that will go through that is with the driveway and possibly the overhead power line. And none of the lots, as I mentioned earlier, have water frontage on Lone Pond. The back lot line actually follows pretty close to the conservation line. It now shows well locations. It also shows the test pit locations. And in addition to that, you'll see a little rectangle and it says proposed septic disposal area. We went ahead and had those designed now. They can change, but we've made some assumptions while trying to move forward. And one would be if you look at Exhibit G, the potential plot plans. Somebody asked at the sketch plan meeting about how would the houses be positioned and what kind of clearing are you looking at and so forth. So some dimensions. Now, what we've done is we've worked with an assumed house design, which happens to be the same house that was built in the Woody Knoll subdivision. All of those houses are the same because that's what the people chose. We don't require that or wouldn't require that. So we use that as an example, some with garages, some without. But we've drawn on here for lots 1, 2, and 3, how they could potentially be positioned. Final location, final driveway entrance, all of that would be submitted at the time of the building permit application. So we're not actually married to any of this, but it's a good guide moving forward. And on a couple of places I mentioned that this is nothing that's cast in stone. It can vary. The last couple of things we have, Exhibit H is the abutters list, and we've also attached all the mail receipts as they went out. And that, in a nutshell, is it.
So, Madam Chair, the only thing I would say that I think is important to understand, and Doug spoke to it a little bit, is that with the septic system and the well locations, the one thing that won't change, the locations could change, but the one thing that won't change is state law requires 100-foot separation between the two. So there is always going to have to be at least a minimum 100-foot separation between the well and the septic system, or septic systems, depending on where the abutting properties put them as well, just to make sure that people understand that.
Yes, and he actually provided designs for them, so that's all been in the designs from the licensed septic designer.
Correct.
Is there anyone from the planning board that has any comments or questions?
I'd also refer to my memo. You want to make sure that you grant the waivers, or whichever waivers you do want to grant or not grant, and make sure that the application is complete, which it would be if you grant those waivers before you take any other action.
Right.
Same process as the last application.
Thank you, EJ. David, you had a comment?
Yeah, I was just looking at the waiver requests from the checklist, and beyond the mailbox issue, the balance of them seem to be not problematic to me in going forward on this. And I would like to make a motion that the necessary waivers be granted.
I think that.
EJ, we need to do these individually, correct? Or can we do both of them at the same time?
If there's no discussion on either one of them, you can grant them as one vote, since they've both been noted. If there's discussion on either one, then you're going to want to vote on them separately.
Thank you. Does anybody have any comments on the waivers?
I see 4 waivers request. We say all can pass, but I see 4, so if we're going to do them in bulk, I just want to make sure everybody's aware that we're doing 4.
do we have a waiver on the mailboxes, and what's the other one?
The other ones would be on the open space. Is that what you're referring to, Dwayne?
That's what I'm referring to, yes.
Section 8.1. Yes, I think there were several.
For further use, that kind of thing. There's two of them there. And with the page, page 105 on the waiver request sheet. And then the last one, it's also public space, saving public space for the community. So we got 3 public space and a mailbox.
Correct.
Yes, David?
Repeat that my motion is on the table and that it is for waiving all, granting a waiver on all.
Do I hear a second? I have a second from Dwayne. Motion has been approved and the waivers are requested. I mean,
want to do a roll call vote.
The roll call.
Oh, roll call, yeah, okay. Sorry, I forget. I'd like to hear a vote from everybody when I call your name, either yes or no. Dwayne, do you vote to approve the waivers?
Yes.
David, do you vote to approve the waivers?
Yes.
Deborah, do you vote?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
And I'm Laura Anthony, and I also vote yes on approving the waiver. Is there any further discussion?
So now you'll want to make sure that you find the application complete, since you granted the waivers. And then once you've done that, then you can take action on the application.
Okay. Do I have a motion to find this application complete? David, do you have a comment first? David?
No, I'm making a motion that we find the application complete.
Okay, I have a first. How about a second?
I'll second it.
Debbie got in there. Okay. All in favor, and this will be roll call.
Yes.
So, Kayla?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Deborah?
Yes.
David, do you approve?
Yes.
Dwayne?
Yes.
And I also find yes. So the application has been found complete. Now do we approve the application, correct, Jay?
That is correct. Final approval.
May I have a motion for final approval for the Carmine subdivision?
I'll make that motion.
Kayla, could you say yes, please?
Yes.
May I have a motion to second it?
Yes.
Dwayne has seconded it. Yes, David.
No, I didn't hear the motion or the motion of the second. So we're
okay, that's fine. So we have by roll call vote to approve this. May I hear please a yes or no? Kayla?
Yes.
Deborah, do you approve of the subdivision?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Dwayne, do you want to approve the subdivision? Dwayne, would you vote on approving the subdivision? Yes or no?
Yes.
And Laura Anthony also votes to approve the subdivision. Unanimous decision, this subdivision has been approved. Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you.
Thank you
Question that I have.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I'll need to get it signed off. You'll need a Mylar, correct?
Actually, no, Doug. The state law changed, and it's now 20-pound white paper.
20-pound white paper.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. No more Mylar.
So I'll have to present that to you. When would that be able to be signed?
That would be the board's call. If you get them into town hall, they could either come in individually and sign them, or they could be signed at the next meeting.
David?
That would be a real good idea. Just an email out to everyone saying it's available, make an arrangement, stop by and sign.
And that would include the findings. Well, you need to officially approve the findings at the next meeting, but yes. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just concerned with a virtual meeting, how that signing was gonna happen.
Sure, yep.
Could you
So I'll get that into Angela then.
Could you reiterate that, Mijay, please? How that's gonna go?
So the once Doug gets the plan submitted to Angela, which could be tomorrow or Friday, she'll send out an email letting all of the board members know that the plan is available, and they can come into town hall and sign the plan, so that Doug can take it for recording.
And we don't need the findings of fact to do that, correct?
Not for that purpose, no. You'll need to just take action on the findings and sign them at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice night.
So, all we have is the last 1, 2, 3 items, correct? And there are no communications to cover?
Lori?
Yeah.
Actually, I have a letter here from Tim Neal that he would like to share with the planning board members.
We have a communication. Angela, could you please share with us that?
Yep, it's from Tim Neal, was our former selectman. He says, "Dear planning board members, my resignation was effective 5/29. It has been a pleasure working with you. I think the current board is a strong, capable group. Good luck with the challenges ahead. Sincerely, Tim Neal."
Well, I'll miss him. Yes, David.
So, Gary, who will be the select person that will be assigned to planning board?
Now, Dennis Abbott has volunteered to do that. They would probably make a formal assignments after the election on July 14th.
Thank you.
Is there anything else under communications we need to discuss?
Not at this time, no.
Thank you, Angela. Miscellaneous, does anybody want to add anything? No? Okay. Yes, David? I'm sorry.
You're on mute. You're on mute, David.
I would like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, he's going right to the next one. We have a motion for adjournment. Is there a second? Kayla is raising her hand for a second. Is that correct, Kayla?
Yes.
Thank you. Vote by roll call, yay or nay, to adjourn this meeting. Kayla?
Yes.
Deborah?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Dwayne?
Yes.
Me, Lori, also is a yes. This meeting is adjourned.
Night, night.
Night.